Hey everyone, it's Jason from Longboard. We're on site today in the west coast of Canada on a residential build using our HITCH system for exterior insulation. This home has a few different unique details I want to point out. A corner that's not 90 degrees, so I'll show you how we've done that with our corner girt. And we've got different lengths of girt, standard girt, that will accommodate the different lengths of wall area to maximize efficiency. And I'll also point out the thickness of the insulation, 2.5 inches of insulation on this build. All right, so one of the areas I wanted to point out, on this home, they're using 2.5 inches of insulation. You see they're actually doing 2 layers. So they've got 1 layer and then they're able to stagger their joints to really maximize the thermal efficiency, minimize any kind of air loss. Then they'll attach our standard girt over top of the insulation. We've spec'd out and detailed that depth of clip specific to the insulation so that the girt just applies just a little slight amount of force or pressure onto that insulation to help hold it in place. Really though, the insulation is being held up by the wind anchors that are anchored back to the substrate, but the girt will provide a little bit of support. We offer numerous lengths of girt, anywhere 8 foot, 10 foot, 12 foot, and 16 foot. This home is using our 10 footers, 12 footers, and 16 footers, and we've detailed that according to the length of wall. This home on 3 sides of the building is using our HITCH system, so we've detailed the girt length to really minimize waste, maximize efficiency in labor and material, so on and so forth. With this project being wood frame construction, naturally you're going to have a little bit of variation. I think I'd argue that almost any type of construction, you're going to have variation in your wall. Part of the unique features with the SD clip is we have the ability to adjust the depth to match plane across that wall. That's adjusted through our thermal shim, and you can simply stack up to 3 thermal shims behind. Talking with the GC on this project, I understand the wall was framed extremely well, extremely flat. In a few different areas, about 6-7 areas, they had to install maybe 2, maximum 3 thermal shims to match their plane. So we start with the clip, thermal cap goes on top, and then we're off to girts. Another area I'd like to point out is connections between 2 girts. So here we have 2 standard girts joining end to end, and we've used our girt connector, which ultimately is just a plate that connects those 2 ends, screwed to the face, nice and easy, and then aligns those 2 girts, connects it, and acts as one. Something really unique on this project is this outside corner. I don't know if you can see it on the camera at this point. We're not 90 degrees, and I'll take one of our corner girts here. So corner girt, just slip through you here. Corner girt comes as a 6-foot girt, laser cut midpoint 3 foot in, and it's notched out so that you can easily bend on site. So it'll ship to the project dead straight like this, and then just give it a bend, nice and easy, and ultimately just set it to your angle. So here I'll set it on the clips, bend it to match that angle on the project. The way that we've got this layout, as you can see, we'll have to either cut the standard girt or cut the corner girt, doesn't really matter which one. And then that girt connector that I just pointed out, slip that behind, make that connection, tie it all together. Good practice on the girts, anytime we've got the girt connector, leave a 1/4 inch of room between those 2 girts so that there's room for expansion, contraction on those girts. And that's about it. So easy as that for a corner, whether it's 90 degrees outside, inside, or call it a unique angle, whether it's 45 degrees or I don't know what this one is, 30 degrees some odd. Really easy to match that angle. Another interesting detail I'd like to share on this project, above our windows, when we did the layout for the HITCH clips, you'll see kind of we've doubled up on clips there, pretty close together. We have, let's say this one here is going to carry a standard girt horizontally across that open area. The girts that are slightly, or the clips, sorry, that are slightly above the window are picking up where we want to place an edge girt. So the edge girt, it's just got 1 flange. This flange here has been laser cut off by the supplier. And that gets us so that we can position that elevation down as low as that cladding will terminate. In this case, I believe there's going to be a flashing, like a head flashing detail over the window with an air gap, and then our cladding would terminate somewhere around here, probably with this edge girt or slightly below it. Once we place that edge girt on, we of course wouldn't use a full length like this, but cut it to length and then move back to the standard girts for the rest of the field area. All right, so that wraps up a quick look at this custom residential home. Something that we take a lot of pride in at Longboard is our radical client care. This project, to me, speaks to that point. We've been involved with this project right from day one. So whether you're a architect, a homeowner, a building owner, a GC, an installer, any area within there, we want to work directly with you. This project is no different. We worked right from day one through design, creation, construction, and soon to be completion. That's what really sets us apart, in my opinion. So be sure to reach out to our team of experts for your next project.